Inside US sanctions on Rwanda and Kigali's defiant response, tensions in the Great Lakes region have escalated sharply after the United States imposed sweeping sanctions on Rwanda's military leadership, triggering a furious response from Kigali and deepening on already volatile diplomatic crisis tied to the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
So these people who are there at the UN, they are there at these Western capitals, they are everywhere, they are just one. This small country, this Rwanda. You see, when they are talking about Rwanda, ganging up together against Rwanda, you think it's some country that is. Then when I remember the facts about it, I just imagine the world has gone amok. But in the midst of all that, we have to live. We have to live our lives, we have to fight for that, we have to live the way we want. And I tell anybody, his face, go to hell. If anyone comes around and thinks they can, we're not sanctioning you. What? Go to hell. Just go to hell. You have your own issues to deal with. Go and deal with your own issues. Leave me to mine.
U.S. Treasury targets Rwanda Defense Force. On March the 2nd, 2026, the U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, announced sanctions against the Rwanda Defense Force, RDF, and 4 of its top commanders, accusing them of supporting the M23 rebel movement in Eastern DRC. According to the Treasury statement, the RDF has been actively supporting, training, and fighting alongside the March 23 movement, a group already sanctioned by both the US and the United Nations. Washington alleges that RDF troops have operated inside Eastern Congo, helping M23 seize key cities including Goma and Bukavu, as well as strategic mineral-rich territories. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the sanctions were meant to enforce compliance with the Washington Accords peace framework and demanded the immediate withdrawal of Rwanda Defense Force troops, weapons, and equipment. These designations block all US-linked property and financial transactions involving the RDF and the named officials. The measures also expose foreign financial institutions and businesses to secondary sanctions risk if they continue dealing with designated individuals.
Bagatangira sanctions. Jamus kabarebe sanctions. Officers sanctions for what? We're just foot. Simply foot.
As you know, they will always do. Rwanda fires back one-sided sanctions. Kigali responded within hours. In a statement issued by the office of the government spokesperson on March the 2nd, 2026, Rwanda said it regrets one-sided sanctions that misrepresent reality and distort the facts of the conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Rwanda argued that the DRC has violated ceasefire agreements through drone attacks and ground offensives, claiming these actions have cost lives and threatened Rwandan security. The statement emphasized that protecting Rwanda's sovereignty is a badge of honor which the Rwanda Defense Force carries very proudly. Kigali also accused Kinshasa of working with hostile armed groups, including the FDLR militia, which Rwanda describes as genocidal and linked to perpetrators of the 1994 genocide. Rwanda insists that under the Washington Accords, The DRC committed to dismantling such groups but has failed to do so. Rwanda maintains it is committed to disagreement in tandem with the DRC fulfilling its own obligations under the agreement. Growing diplomatic isolation. The U.S. sanctions come amid mounting international pressure on Rwanda. In 2025, Rwanda severed diplomatic ties with Belgium after Brussels pushed the European Union to impose sanctions over Rwanda's alleged role in Eastern Congo. Kigali accused Belgium of clearly taking sides in a regional conflict. The conflict has also spilled into global sports and corporate branding. The long-running Visit Rwanda sponsorship with Arsenal FC is set to end in June 2026 after 8 years. The deal faced heavy backlash from supporters and human rights advocates, with critics linking the sponsorship to alleged Rwandan support for M23. A survey by the Arsenal Supporters Trust reportedly found that 90% of respondents wanted the partnership terminated. The Washington Accords are risk. The sanctions arrived just days after U.S. brokered peace commitments under the Washington Accords, signed in the presence of U.S. leadership, were meant to stabilize the region. Instead, M23 reportedly captured additional territory shortly afterward, intensifying fears of broader regional war. Washington argues that the sanctions are not meant to punish Rwanda permanently, but to pressure behavioral change. OFAC emphasized that sanctions can be lifted if compliance and de-escalation occur. What happens next? The standoff now places Rwanda at a diplomatic crossroads. If Kigali doubles down, it risks further financial isolation and reputational damage. If it negotiations, it must balance the domestic security narratives with international pressure. For now, both sides appear entrenched. Washington is signaling enforcement, Kigali is signaling defiance, and Eastern Congo remains the battleground where diplomacy, minerals, armed groups, and great power politics continue to collide and babies die.